Alright, so you've installed Termux, you've installed Andronix, which gives you a link to install Linux. You've set up the VNC server for Linux. You've set up some file system management so you can move files in and out. But now, let's see if we can play around with the user interface a little bit and make it just a little bit easier to mess with, like when you're using a stylus, or just to make it a little bit easier to read. We want to go to Applications, System, let me see, Settings, and Appearance. And every distro usually has the settings somewhere. Okay, so I usually like to choose the dark theme because these are my eyes. Icons, I think we can leave that the same. And then fonts. This is probably the most important part. So we're just gonna make this nice and big so we can see everything. Oh yeah, so that makes everything a lot easier to see. And then default monospace font, let's try and make that 22 as well. We can make that a little tiny bit smaller. All right, and oops, there we go. So that'll make things a lot easier to see. And then one last little hack we can do to make everything even easier to see. I found this, I saw this on someone else's video. We can reduce the resolution. So currently the resolution is set to this really high resolution. What we can do is reduce that to, like, say 192080 or 1920 by 1080. And what that'll do is that'll make everything bigger. And in order to reflect that change, we'll have to disconnect and reconnect. All right. So now we're at 1920 by 1080, and this will become important when we start running programs because the buttons will be a lot easier to see. So let's go back to display and make sure we're still at 1080. All right, that's looking good. And then let's just open something, like let's open the file manager again. And so now that we've increased the font size, we can see everything a lot better. And because we reduced the resolution, everything is a lot bigger now. And this just makes it easier, like, you know, when you're tapping stuff with your stylus, because, you know, sometimes you might need to use your stylus. So that looks a lot better. So I recommend changing the theme. I like the dark themes, and then change that font size. Both recommended, and that'll make everything a lot easier to see. And then if you're still having trouble, just go ahead and reduce the resolution by going into settings, display, and then that way it'll make it a lot easier to see. And let's actually check desktop and see if there's anything going on in there. The wallpapers. Oh yes, you can actually change the wallpapers, and we can put some images in here. Just want to see if there's a way to, icons. Nice, we can make the icon size bigger. So let's use that, like, I don't know, 70. Oh yeah, that's much better. Make that a little bit bigger. Go to 100. This just makes it easier because we're using styles. All right, there we go. Menus, include menus. Doesn't look like I can change the show tooltips size. Use custom font size. Yeah, why not? So we can change the font size too, which is great. Yeah, let's make that nice and fat. 24, that's good. Looking good. No. Alright, so yeah, I would just go in here and play with these appearance settings, and that'll make it a lot easier to see. But yeah, just go ahead and change that, and I think those settings will make everything a lot easier to use.